I'm Dani Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I am joined today by Susie Hughes, who is the Executive Director of One Life Counseling Services, and also Suzanne Barber, who is the Education and Volunteer Coordinator, Community Education and Volunteer Coordinator for Mission Hospice. Welcome, Suzanne and Susie.
Thank you for having us.
I think before we jump into the program discussion of something that you're bringing to this community, let's talk a little bit about your organization. So Susie, let's talk about One Life Counseling Services first.
That sounds great. So One Life is a counseling center right here in San Carlos, and what we focus on is accessible and affordable counseling services in San Carlos. We do community programs like Music and Memory, which we're going to talk about today.
Right.
We also do counseling services and school-based programs in low-income areas as well.
So what's the age range of folks that you provide counseling services for?
Well, generally we start around age 4, providing counseling, and we'll go up to 101, 102.
Okay, so it's a full spectrum.
You bet, yeah.
And then, Suzanne, I think people are probably familiar with Mission and Hospice, but for those 2 people in our county that aren't, tell us a little bit about what your work is.
So Mission Hospice and Home Care has been in San Mateo County since 1979, when 2 local women met each other, introduced by a mutual friend, and decided that there was a better way for people facing end of life to be supported. And they started Mission Hospice in 1979, and one of those women, Mac Nash, became our first patient in 1982. And since that time, Mission Hospice has grown just in terms of its support of the community and the community support of Mission Hospice, which is phenomenal, and in terms of our scope of programs. So we have a continuum of care programs now. We have an advanced care plan program for people who are not ready for hospice and whose needs are a little bit different.
Right.
We have a transitions program for folks that are maybe medically not ready to make a decision about hospice, but at some point may be looking at hospice, and that's a wonderful program. And then hospice for folks looking in the last 6 months of life. And in the last 18 months since I've been there, both our staff and our patient census has grown tremendously, and Music and Memory and the generosity of One Life Counseling Center will allow us to support patients in a wonderful way with Music and Memory.
So you're actually the recipient of a program that One Life Counseling Services has brought forward. But you also have a third partner, and that's your funding partner. So, Susie, if you want to talk a little bit about your funding partner and how this came about, and then how did the collaboration and the partnership come to be, and a little bit more now about the program.
That would be great. So this whole the snowball started rolling a couple years ago when I saw the movie Alive Inside, which is a Sundance film, award-winning film, where they devised customized iPods for people with dementia. And what they found was there was definite decrease in use of psychotropic drugs using customized, meaningful music. There was decrease in agitation. And after that point, this whole message has spread to other communities, like people that are in hospice. So it's something that's going on nationwide with the Music and Memory program, and hopefully it'll be a household thing in every skilled nursing facility, in every hospice agency in the United States. So we took it on. One Life Counseling Center really wanted to get out of the couch and into the community. So we took this program on and decided that we have to get it on the peninsula. So I gave a call to Dwight over at Mission Hospice, and I gave a call to Lee Michelson at Sequoia Healthcare District, and he generously gave $5,000 of seed money to get the program started and to start rolling it out. And so Mission Hospice and the Elms in San Carlos were the beneficiaries of that program.
Such a great example of public-private partnerships, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit more detail. So it sounds like patients or your clients have this ability to have iPods and listen to music, and it sounds like there's some kind of customization that happens that's meaningful to the patient. So give us a little bit more detail.
So with the Music and Memory program, one of the things that Dan Cohen, who is a social worker in New York, that kind of started this, and also his work inspired the movie, he has discovered that if there's a personalized music list of music, for example, that you have found meaningful throughout your life, people with dementia are often able to recognize that music. Apparently where the music memory is stored in the brain is a different area than, say, language or memory.
Interesting.
So it can trigger somebody who may be seen as not with it or not there. putting on the iPhones with a very, not just with general music, but music specifically important to that person,
Right.
can often trigger a, sort of a coming alive.
Right.
And it's incredible.
You can see it in their face, right?
can
When
see
there's
it.
just all of a sudden this recognition that happens.
That's true. There's also, in the movie, there's a clip with a gentleman named Henry who became an internet sensation around the world because this was the GoFundMe clip that they used to get the film funded. And it's quite miraculous looking at this gentleman who's just sitting there unable to even interact with his daughter, get his personalized music list, and be able to have an involved conversation with Dan Cohen, the social worker that's working with him, around what was happening. Oh, when I got married, we were playing this song. It was Cab Calloway. And then to talk about, oh, we used to go dancing to this music. And so that is something for people with dementia in particular, if they're able to connect with a sense of themselves and a sense of the world around them, that's a wonderful support. And one of the things about Mission Hospice and Home Care is we really focus on life, quality of life. What are your hopes and dreams if you're at this point in your life? If people still have hopes and dreams, how can we help support those? And to be able to be reconnected with your life in a meaningful way, and for family members to be able to be reconnected is wonderful.
And Susie, I know that you deal with, as you said, populations from age 4 all the way through their aging and end of life. I would imagine this application could be used even for your youngest of clients as well.
Absolutely. And I think what we're specifically doing with the Music and Memory program in San Carlos is we're coupling multi-generations. So we are working with Redwood Continuation High School and National Charity League. We're bringing volunteers, and teenagers are experts at iPods.
True.
So
Probably
we're
in creating
them,
the music list, right?
It takes them 1 second. It takes me it's so long to do. So they've come in. We've got a group of volunteers that are coming in to the Elms and to different boarding cares in the area, buddying up with the senior, being able to work on their playlist with them, and then coming, bi-weekly, every other week to kind of check in, refine the playlist. It's usually about 150 songs, can be a little less or more, and making sure that the program gets implemented smoothly.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a collaboration with high school students and people with dementia.
And I think that's one of the keys we talk about, this intergenerational programs, right? That we bring in young folks to sort of sit next to our elderly, and it just becomes this great bonding and this great experience. So beyond the Sequoia Healthcare District funding part of it, who else do you need to administer this program? Other professionals, other volunteers? It sounds like you've got your senior high school students involved volunteering.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things we need. One is we're going to have a citywide iPod iTunes drive in the city of San Carlos, and that's going to be in the first week in October. In November. November, I think it starts October 30th to November 6th.
And we'll put that up at the end of the screen.
And there'll be a banner across Laurel Street, so you'll see that. And you can drop off iPods, iTunes gift cards, CDs at the Reading Bug or Dwell Realtors.
I have one sitting around.
We'll dust it off and we'll use it.
Yep.
We need it. We get a starter pack with 10, but at Hospice House we're going to need more, and at the Elms we're short about 25.
Oh my goodness, okay.
So we need them, definitely. And also...
So let's just remind our viewers, even if you're seeing this right now, you can still make a donation. Just head it over to the Reading Bug, get your iPod there before your even November event.
Anytime.
Yeah.
We'd love to have them. iTunes cards we need. We need money to support the program and to get it out into the community. So we started with Mission Hospice, which with open arms. They just loved the program. And the Elms, same way. Many other boarding cares and skilled nursing facilities need this program.
Right.
They don't have the funding.
So this is my last question for you, because just about out of time, but so how do we bring this program to more of the community than just in San Carlos? Is it already out in San Mateo County-wide, or are you just launching it in San Carlos first?
So we were in October of last year, we were fortunate enough to be able to open Mission Hospice House. It's Mission House. It's a place for people in the last couple of weeks of life to be able to live and be well cared for. And because this model is based in facilities, we thought it was natural for us to roll it out first in that kind of environment. But once we are kind of stable there and we have things, all of the kind of
Kinks worked out.
then we are going to move out into some of the other places where we have patients. But I think rolling this out in a way that where there's a good foundation.
Right, you learn first.
We
Yes.
want to
Right.
make this something that's part of every patient's experience that we serve, and then roll it out to a larger community.
Wonderful. And so we are out of time, but Susie and Susan, thank you so much for joining us. What we'd like to do is have you come back and tell us how the program went, and then a little bit how you're expanding it, because I think there's a lot of community members that are going to want to learn more about this program.
Yeah, please contact me. Feel free to contact me for donations.
And we'll put your name up on the screen so everyone will know
Same
that.
at Mission Hospice.
Thank you again for joining us, and thanks all of you for joining us on Penn Voice. We'll see you next time.